It's been can we say controversial release?
I mean, this box set, aside from the rule books and things, just the models alone have come to about £350.
The bit of it which I love, which is building models, I really didn't enjoy.
Why are you rushing through it?
The quantity of parts per sprue is much higher than I am used to seeing.
I looked at the instructions and I was like, I'm not building it.
You're willing to accept a challenge in your painting process, but why not the same sort of challenge in the build process?
Hello everyone and welcome to Paint Perspective, episode 109, sponsored by Everything Airbrush. If you need a new airbrush bundle, you already have an airbrush and you need tools and bits and all that stuff, check the link in the description down below. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the new Saturnine box from Games Workshop, the new edition of Horus Heresy. We've painted some models and we have some opinions, good and bad. That later, but first, welcome to the hot podcast set,
The
lads.
hot podcast.
We are definitely in summertime, British
You could
summertime.
say the sizzle.
Yeah, the sizzle. Is that the
Yeah,
official
sizzle.
name?
Well, it is now. I
Yeah.
guess.
Okay.
Okay.
It's the classic. It's now far too warm.
It is.
And I'd like
It's
cold
not,
back,
it's not
please.
comfortable anymore.
I know. Yeah, classic British.
It's never
Well,
good.
it's
It's
never
either
good.
too hot, it's too
I'm
cold.
very much an autumn and spring kind of chap. Like
too.
I
Oh.
it's variable. You can wear a jumper maybe if you want
Yeah.
to, or you can go t-shirt and shorts.
Why not?
Not I'm on fire or I'm freezing.
And
you
if
know.
it's winter, you can just bung on a jumper. When it's the surface of the sun out there, what can I do? Just melt into a puddle.
Yeah, and we've got some fantastic jumpers on the store if you do want one. There's a little plug. So there
That's
you
true.
go.
There you go.
Or if it's too hot for you, we have t-shirts on the store as well.
yeah.
How are you painting in the heat? Because I'm finding it an absolute nightmare.
Been all right, mate. The ice cubes came out.
I tried the ice cube trick, and then I ended up segueing and doing a load of like airbrushing stuff. And then when I came back, all the ice had melted, so that didn't really.
It's
Yeah.
too hot for ice
Yeah.
cubes.
So I'll have to try that again.
At no point did I say put the ice cubes on your palette and then walk away and leave it.
No.
That wasn't in the memo.
Hmm.
But no, yeah, I've been all right actually. I managed
So
to-
that was for anyone who didn't catch last week's episode with Tommy Saul,
Tommy.
which was a fantastic episode.
Great
by the way,
episode,
I
yeah.
really enjoyed
Yeah.
that. What a
Yeah.
great conversation. But one of James's / Tommy's little tips was if you have a wet palette, putting some ice in the kind of like reservoir surrounding
Corners.
area, and then I guess that cools the water down and kind of gives you a steady supply of water
correct. I mean,
Mm.
as
yes.
it's evaporating.
Yeah, it does most certainly.
Well, I'll try it again.
yeah, you should. No, I've been.
It worked in theory.
Yeah, it's good. The theory's there. The science is there,
Yeah.
George. You can't argue.
That's
with
why
the
people
science.
tune into the Paint Perspective podcast. It's because
That's
the science
I'll
that
get-
we
I'll
bring
get
to the
the lab
community.
Was that your hobby hack for the
No,
week
I've done
last week?
ice cubes.
Is it
That's
in
an
the
old-
podcast
is it?
budget to get you a lab coat?
I was going to
When
say
we do the hobby hacks.
lab coat and some of those fake spectacles will be perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and some pens.
Yeah, and some pens.
And
Yeah,
some
I'm
pens.
sure we can. I'm sure
got
the
some
budget
pens.
can stretch.
We'll run
to
that
get
by
some
marketing.
pens.
We'll see if we can
Yeah,
get that by.
Marketing.
I just checked. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah,
Let me ask the boss.
yeah. Just
He
checked.
says it's good.
Yeah, just checked. Yeah. No, yeah, I managed to do a fair bit of painting this weekend. So yeah, it was very much a red weekend. Very much a red weekend. It was very not going off brand for me. So
No.
yeah, very much a red
I
weekend.
found if you shut all your windows and keep your curtains drawn first thing in the morning before the sun rises too high,
That's
that really helps
Yeah.
a lot. Keep
It
the heat out.
helps, but
Yeah.
eventually around 3 or 4 p.m., you've got to accept the stale air.
yeah.
that you've
well,
cooked.
yeah. But then you can. I tend to by then, you must have some windows that are in shadow, so you can open those where it's the cooler air coming in.
Yeah,
So that's what I've been doing.
I have
And crying a bit.
My house and
Yeah, it's too
garden, literally the sun hits it all day.
Yeah.
So just because of the direction that it faces, yeah.
You know
so-
that scene? Have you ever seen that movie Sunshine? I know you have never seen a movie, but
Yeah.
that movie Sunshine where they sit on that bench and they open the shutters and the sun block. That's my front room
yeah,
all day from about
Yeah.
10 o'clock.
yeah, very very similar. I get
Yeah.
sun all the way
The
through.
flesh melts off.
We're really bringing the Britishness this week, aren't we? We're opening a
Yeah.
podcast talking about the weather.
We want
Yeah.
warmer weather, but when we get it, we moan about it.
It's not warm enough.
I
too
like
hot.
a 22 degrees, partially
That's enough.
cloudy with a breeze.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
now you're talking.
yeah.
It's got to have a breeze. It can't. It's like 70% humidity.
My
It's horrible.
favorite time in summer is between sort of like 5 a.m. till 6 a.m. in the morning, maybe 6:30 when it's sunny, but it's really cool. Like you
Yeah.
get a lovely cool breeze. Like the sun's not so high that if I could have that all day during summer, warm temperature, but
Yeah.
like not.
If you listen carefully, I can hear our Australian viewers typing in the comments,
Weak Brits.
telling
Brits.
us about how we're intolerant to the real heat.
That's it, yeah.
It's very true.
Well, I did hear that to acclimatise to any sort of climate, you need the same temperatures for at least 2 weeks. We never get that.
No, we
here.
don't. You're right. It's
So we
either
have, like-
sunshine or
It's either
rain.
Yeah, it's like the surface of the sun for 3 days, and then it's
storm,
chucking it down
and
and,
then a rain,
snowing,
yeah.
and then it's back to the surface of the sun again. We don't get time to.
If you're new here, I promise we talk about painting.
We get to it. We
I
do
promise
get
we
to
do
it.
talk about it.
Yeah. No, but
also, if you're new here, subscribe to the channel, Paint Perspective Podcast. We put out new episodes every single week, and there's like 108 other ones on the channel.
You
Go
didn't
listen
know
to
them,
them.
did we, for a second?
That's
It's
the
the
thing.
heat.
Yeah.
Also, if you've got a little desk fan, try not to have it on your desk, but perhaps put it blowing across your legs, so you're not like drying out your palette too quick.
Yeah.
I was going to try and use one of my past hobby hacks as a little
Go
cooling
on.
thing. No, I was going to say,
No,
if
go on.
you've got a mini fridge under your desk, just open the door for a couple of minutes if it's got a
Mini
little
fridge,
freezer.
put your feet in it.
Yeah, there you go. But
Man.
do you know that, again, this is really
That's,
gone
that's a better hack than putting the wet palette in it, to be fair.
No, it's not. Wet palette in the fridge works perfectly. Anyway, no, I managed to
Can't
get
paint in the fridge. How do
no,
I
you
get in the
can't.
fridge?
I managed to get. I'm not even going to get into that. I managed to do a fair bit of painting this weekend, specifically on a model for this show, obviously, and at the same time, I have been painting some other things. I actually got a news flash coming. Breaking news. Yeah.
Oh, we haven't done that for a while,
Yeah,
have we?
well, yeah.
Oh.
I am revisiting gaming, but
You're going to be the pro gamer?
no, I'm not. Well, I'm not doing pro. I'm not going to try and take anyone's take.
He's not pro
Jesse.
gamer, he's just gamer.
I'm just
Just a
gamer.
noob
Yeah,
gamer.
It just came out new gamer. Yeah.
New gamer.
I am getting back into probably my favourite war
Mm.
game ever, which is Battlefleet Gothic.
Wow.
One
Off
my,
of the 90s.
yes, one of my favourite.
It's unlike you,
games.
James. Old models.
Yeah. Yeah, good. Again, I said to you, I'm on brand.
If James was going to get into a game, it would be something that's been
from
out of
the
date
I'm on-
for
I'm
30
on
years.
brand
isn't
with
it?
it.
we would,
I
yeah.
just, I have very,
Can't get anything
very
for it.
fond memories of it being one of my favourite games, purely because of the strategy of it and the way it functions, and also as well just the models. I thought the models are
Spaceships,
fantastic. Yeah,
yeah.
I love it. I mean, I've always loved spaceships and space and like sci-fi and stuff like that. So I'll talk about that more in the post show, I think, because I've got quite a few things to go. I've been doing a lot.
Nice.
So yeah,
Cool.
but no, I managed to get a fair bit of painting done.
Yeah.
Even with the heat. So ye fabled palette was working at maximum efficiency this weekend. Had
Plenty of ice
It was
cubes on the
great.
go.
It was honestly, I had no problems at all. I managed to get loads done. So yeah. But no, it's good. But you, did you get painting any more men carrying giant religious symbols for Trench Crusade?
No, I'm still waiting for my observer to come from Trench Crusade.
Okay.
So
Oh, it was
that
a
one's on
pre-order,
hold.
wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm painting. I'm doing some non-metallic metal.
Okay.
I tried. Well, I'm sure we'll talk about it a bit later. But yes, a slow process. And also, I think today, my Wolf Guard leader should turn up in the post.
Oh, okay. What, the
I-
new one?
Yeah, one of the new
Yeah,
sort of
great
single
model.
character models.
Great
I quite
model.
like that. I thought it was quite a cool model. I couldn't help myself. So I think once he arrives, the non-metallic project will be popped to
Shelved.
one side.
Yeah.
And then he will take over until it's
Fair.
finished.
I too am quite eager to paint one of the new Space Wolves.
I think they look pretty good. I don't, I can't help myself. I've just got
Design done right is all I'm going to say.
they're very
So-
nice. Yeah, they're very nice.
So yeah.
Yeah.
There was no subtle shade with that comment at
No,
all, was there?
there
You
wasn't
could just
any.
feel the
No.
positivity.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Just really good. They look great.
Yeah.
The new blood claws. I've said it already, but I have a little segue project of wanting to not paint them in wolf coloured armor, and they're going to be going black as midnight, and going to be having a fair few red X's on them because I think
Nice.
they will make amazing Death Company.
Yeah, they're really cool models. I think.
Yeah,
I've done a really
so,
good job with those.
yeah.
The character models are so characterful.
yeah, they're
that
great.
it's,
Even the regular fellas are
even just the rank and file are really good.
quite partial to a Space Wolf head as well. They've always
They
been
are.
nice
they're
original
always very.
heads.
Space Wolves have always had, even in
Yeah.
the older kits, older
Oh, for
plastic
sure,
kits, they've
yeah.
always had amazing face
I reckon
face sculpts.
you could probably get away with some good dwarf head sculpts and put them in the Space Wolf armor.
Potentially, yeah.
What, chuck some Votan heads on them?
Ooh,
Maybe.
I don't know about
I
that.
don't know.
I don't know
They're a
about
bit
that.
smaller, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know
Maybe.
about that.
But I think
Like-
that a good sort
They
of
look like
Warhammer
that guy
dwarf.
out of like. I'm going to direct this mainly for Paul because George might not remember this or know this film. Men in Black, where
Yeah.
he shoots the alien and the head explodes
Yeah.
and then the new one grows.
new
and
one
he's got
grows
a
out
tiny
of it,
little head.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just like. Have you seen that? Seen that?
I've not seen
Oh,
Men in
don't
Black.
get me started.
I've not seen Men in Black since I was a kid. Since I was a
you're
kid.
going to get grilled in the
He
comments.
sprinkles the powder on the guy's head and he shrinks.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I just haven't seen it since I was a kid.
Yeah, fair. No, but yeah,
Okay.
it reminds me of that a little bit. But yeah, I probably wouldn't use the photon heads. But
No,
if you do, you do.
no, I wouldn't use Votan heads at all.
You know, enough said on that. Did you do any painting this
Yeah,
weekend?
come
I
on.
did do some painting.
A
Actually.
youngling.
Not just the model we painted for this episode, which again we'll get to shortly. I have been moving on with the Blood Angels semi-converted ancient that I'm doing. Actually moved on to the body, etc. So I got the base done. It's in like 1 billion sub-assemblies because that's an
On
awkward
brand?
model where it doesn't... You've got a join in the cape that is also the arm. But if I glue the cape and stuff on, I won't be able to reach the back of the model. So I've had to like
I
leave-
know how that
leave
feels.
the arm off / cape
Yeah.
/ the other arm because that's also a part of the banner situation.
Yeah,
It's in a lot of parts. At
it'll
the
all
minute.
come together at the end.
It will come together. I've got the body a fair way forward. I'll put a picture on screen of the work in progress. So he's getting there. All in all, though, it's been a good little
Been a
hobby
busy
weekend.
weekend.
Been
Yeah,
busy
like all
weekends.
round,
Yeah.
Glad that we've all been.
Oh,
all been
actually, I'll tell you
painting.
what I did was totally random. I don't know if you remember Iron Skull.
Yeah. I'm sitting down, Paul, so I'm ready for this because
Yeah. We got given, or a few of us got given Gundam kits.
yeah,
I didn't get a Gundam kit.
Ah. And anyway,
Hang on a minute.
What?
This is news to me.
I gave Paul the Gundam kit.
Well, actually, you gave me 2.
I gave you 2. Yeah.
And then I gave one to Adam. To
Okay.
do. So we had one each. And
This is brutal.
I know, right? So good. So me,
Thanks for letting me down gently.
so me and my daughter,
Sucker.
me and my daughter sat down and put it together.
Yep.
Great. Only took about half an hour to pop it together. Instruction manuals a little more cluttered and complicated looking than an average GW manual, but
Is that because the instructions are like poorly
no,
laid out,
actually,
or is it just a complicated kit?
actually they were. And overall, they were better, I thought, because not only does it tell you the number of the part, it tells you the letter of the sprue. So it will say B12.
Oh, I do like that. GW have done that.
Hmm.
They've done like A, B, C, D.
Yeah, they have
Sometimes.
done that.
Sometimes they do it, but this seemed you could go, and all the parts they're pre-colored, aren't they? As well, a lot of them. So the pictures of the sprue parts are
Oh, they're
coloured
coloured.
on the
Nice.
instructions as well, so
I like
you
that.
know instinctively just where to go. They pop straight out the sprue because the kit was for a 6+, I think. So the parts just
They
pop
have
out.
like
it goes
different
together.
difficulty levels, the Gundam stuff.
Yeah,
don't they?
I mean
Yeah.
this, but it was so good when it's finished. It's all articulated, so you can use it as like an action figure. That was just something nice to just
Sweet.
sit down.
You're going to paint it, or is it just.
No, I don't.
That's a dust collector. That is. You build it.
Yeah,
and
you
put
just
it on
sort of
the wall.
build it.
Dust
It
collector.
really is.
That's what it
Yeah,
is.
it really is. It's
Fair,
just something you
fair.
just sort of put together for half an hour and it goes on the shelf. Maggie was playing with it for a bit, and pointing the, he's got this great big gun. He was, shooting at things, but it'll end up on the shelf with her other things that she's made and painted. It'll just end up on there, and I'll have to dust it.
Cherished things that your kids make and they go on the shelf are cherished.
That's true.
Dust collectors.
Yes,
That's what they
I've
are.
got a whole set of shelves with everything she's ever made and every picture she's ever drawn.
They're
tucked away.
important things,
Yeah,
but they
archived.
also collect dust.
They
yeah,
do, yeah.
That's exactly it.
But
yeah.
it's actually it was good fun. It went together well. There was no issues with any of the parts fitting together, even though you're popping them off the sprue. They came off quite cleanly. It was great. Just a little bit of fun. It was great. It was something completely different,
We've had a few people chatting about the Gundam stuff. I would
Yeah.
still like to try one.
Yeah, I
It's
think,
got pretty popular.
Yeah, I
Uh,
wouldn't mind trying a more detailed kit that you perhaps would have that you could
Paint and stuff.
paint.
I think, yeah, if I was to do it, I would buy one of the most complicated ones and then ruin it
Yeah,
and then get sad about it. That
Yeah.
would be quite on brand for me,
yeah,
I
true.
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this podcast, then there's no doubt that you're looking to improve your miniature painting skills. And what better place to start than to learn techniques directly from industry professionals with the Siege Studios Patreon. As a member, you'll gain access to our entire catalogue of masterclass video tutorials with exclusive content going far more in depth into painting techniques than you'll find on YouTube, hundreds of easy to follow step-by-step PDF tutorials, and the ability to get dedicated video feedback on your miniatures so you'll always know what skills you need to improve next. Plus, tons of other additional benefits, all bundled for the same cost as just a few pots of paint. So what are you waiting for? Take the next step in miniature painting and improve your skills by heading to patreon.com/Siege Studios. Okay, our main topic, of course, is Warhammer the Horus Heresy, Saturnine, and the new edition of Horus Heresy. And importantly, this is a painting show, the models. If you want your gaming news, find it elsewhere. We have unfortunately not got the pro gamer on the episode. But Paul has been doing some research.
Well, price-wise, I have, because I know that's a bit of a thing, because obviously it's up for pre-order now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the set. And it's, what, £5 short of £200?
Yeah.
Which is a £15 price increase from the previous
Yeah.
edition.
Yeah.
However, if you break down the individual parts, and I know a lot of these aren't available individually.
Paul's
but
come prepared.
Look at that.
I
He's got
know.
paperwork.
Well,
Hold
I
that up.
don't
Hold
know.
that up. Go on.
Paul loves a bit of paperwork.
I've
Yeah.
got-
Beautiful.
I've got some
Beautiful.
stuff written down.
Yeah.
But comparing them to other Horus Heresy models that are currently available,
Yeah.
I mean, this box set, aside from the rule books and things, just the models alone will come to about £350.
Yeah. If you compare it price point to other models.
So,
yeah.
I mean, it is. I mean, I don't know points wise on the army composition within that box.
This is not a gaming show.
No,
So yeah.
so it's. I mean, you've got 40 line
Mark II.
infantry, haven't you?
Yeah.
So, and you got a dreadnought. You got 6 Terminators. There's a good starting point, and I think for £200, it's not a bad price.
I think when you cumulatively add it all together, like you
Yeah.
have done, so yeah, it shows you what you do get in the box and the value that you do get in the box.
Bear
I
in mind as well, your
suppose.
friendly
But
local gaming store may or may not have a discount.
yeah,
as
there'll
well.
be discounts from other
Element
gaming
affiliate
stores.
link is in the description if you do
Yeah.
want to go and pre-order it though.
Yeah.
That'd be good. So yeah.
It's been a, can we say, controversial release design wise?
Do you know what it is? First things first, like Saturnine pattern Terminator armor. There were previous metal models like
That's
back in the day, and then
Were they actually? They weren't like Saturnine per se, though, were they? That was just like the original Terminator design.
I think it was like an early Terminator. You're gonna have to correct me in the comments. My knowledge on these models is actually pretty vague, being frank. I know I like previous like really early editions and stuff like that, but I
don't see them very often.
You don't see them very often, and but they were
on Lexicanum. That's just listed as just Terminator armor.
Yeah.
So I think for 40k, before they had the like current design,
it might have been
familiar
Rogue
with.
Trader, which again is like
Yeah.
it's not that it's not my jam. It's just literally I didn't read. I didn't play. I've got the Rogue Trader, but I didn't play Rogue Trader. So that was way before I was still playing with Spitfires and stuff then. But Saturnine as an armor pattern is something that kind of like not mythical, but it just like it has this like it's like Saturn. I wonder if they'll ever do Saturnine. And obviously that's built up over the years, and now they finally have. There's a lot of fan art of like that pattern of Terminator armor. There's a lot of people that have like done. I think I've seen some conversions in the past, or people have like sculpted and converted to make it for in the past. So to actually have a release of it is quite cool. Feels weird though, because obviously Saturnine is like a very early pattern of Terminator armor. So like when you got things like Cataphracti, or you've got Indomitus pattern, or you've got Tartarus pattern Terminator armor, and obviously every legion has their own Terminator cadre, put it that way. The timing of it is, I don't want to say odd. It's just like bringing it now, that when it's a much earlier thing is
It's a weird limitation with having an almost like historical setting, because you adding to it is kind of like, it feels like almost like a retcon in a way. When you've got all this like heresy lore, like all the books and stuff, and then like they just drop this new pattern of armor, and you're like, where's that been?
It's always been there. Yeah, I get that totally. Yeah, I mean, but I think the thing is, the other side of it, you got to think of it is maybe it's like it's been held back by all the chapters and people that have got it because it's like a rarity because it's older, and now the times have got obviously now it's obviously the heresy. The times are getting really, they're progressing it on towards terror and stuff like that.
I'm not knocking the inclusion of it, by the way. It's just a sort of interesting. You hear about it with other game systems, like historical stuff, especially, is the like kind of you can only release so much stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's just food for thought on that regard. But
obviously, we've got previous experience with heresy boxes. So Ed and myself obviously worked on the Age of Darkness box when it came out. We painted a load of Blood Angels for that, or painted the box of Blood Angels for that, and that was fun. So it was. Really...
You painted that whole box as one force, though, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Because that was the interesting thing with Age of Darkness, and I guess this Saturnine box as well, is that even though it's like two armies in a box, there's no reason, because they're both Space Marines. There's no reason you couldn't just buy that as your.
Oh, of course you can. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Which is not something you can typically do with like a 40k starter where you'd have like two opposing factions.
Yeah.
Even though you do have two opposing factions in this.
Yeah.
Because the miniatures are
they're the same.
generic
Yeah,
to a degree.
yeah.
You can kind of do what you want
That's
with
why I
it.
say it's quite good value if you're thinking of starting a heresy army.
You do
It's
get a
not
lot
bad.
in
You
there.
get- there's a
yeah,
lot.
There's a lot of stuff
two
in it.
commanders,
Yeah.
40 infantry, the turret, the octopus turret thing. Like,
Yeah.
It's hard to gauge if it's as big or bigger than the Age of Darkness box because the contents of quite
Well,
different.
you got like I think
so you got
it's
you
about
got
tangibility. You got the
Yeah.
Spartan in that box. That was like a massive model. I suppose you do get the new
Get a new
Saturnine
Dread.
but then you got a
Mm.
Contemptor in that Age of Darkness box as well.
Yeah,
So-
true. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's a bit of a. I think they're like comparable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do think so. Yeah,
You know.
I do think so.
Yeah, I think it's a good box set.
Yeah, there's some really
Plenty
cool
there.
bits and bobs in there. I think my favourite thing from the box is going to probably be the Mark II Marines. I think it's nice to see the Mark II armor get in a plastic kit. Hopefully, we'll see all the different marks. I'd love to see even like Mark V Heresy pattern armor. I'd love to see that as well.
I've spoken about wanting to get Mark
Mark
IV for the
well,
longest time.
new
Yeah.
Mark IV.
Mm.
There is a plastic, obviously, kit, but
Well, they upscaled the Mark III.
yeah, I know they did. Yeah, I'm hoping they do because Maximus pattern Mark IV is like literally my favourite. So I hope they do. So I picked the non-Saturnine Centurion because I just
Yeah.
wanted to paint that.
He's not Centurion, is he?
He's a Centurion, yeah. That's the model he is. Centurion. It's a rank, Space Marine rank.
Oh,
Yeah.
not to be confused with Centurion, the Hulkbuster Terminator.
No, that's
suit.
40k.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
10,000
All right. Sorry,
years
you
later.
threw me a
No,
bit there.
So
Yeah.
Centurion is a rank of Space Marine Commander, basically.
Right.
So yeah.
That's not confusing.
Yeah. So I picked the Centurion to paint, which was cool.
There'll be pictures and such on screen if you're watching the video version on YouTube.
stayed on brand.
Love
and
Angel Colours.
100. Well, we got a heresy. To be fair, we
Mm.
got a heresy army for the studio anyway, so it
Yeah.
kind of made sense to add to that. So I went down the same route as I did on the heresy projects that we did. I've got to be honest. I think I've enjoyed the process to the end. However, the bit of it which I love, which is building models, I really didn't enjoy, and I've got to be honest about that. I think with modern miniature design and computer-aided design, ZBrush, all that kind of stuff, just because you can doesn't mean you should, in my
Yeah.
opinion, sometimes. And I think that's just something that, as I've been looking at the instructions for this model, and obviously I had a look through, like I'm a massive fan of Dreadnought, so I had a look at the Saturnine Dreadnought, and even going back to the Contemptor in
Yeah.
the previous box, like I think sometimes having too many parts, it just is a bit crazy, if that makes sense.
Is
And I-
that specifically what you didn't like so much?
well,
about the
like
build?
as an example, like I think capes in general, capes should be optional. I don't think it should be something that like you have to take, because I think a couple of reasons. As a painter, cloth and fabric sometimes can be a bit difficult, and sometimes I think that like access as well. You even said it earlier in the show, like accessing. I paid to paint this guy off the base.
I'd also say with the cape being optional, if you buy two of them, you can have two different ones.
Yeah. I think the thing for me that's frustrating is that first things first, the cape's in two parts. So like I had to obviously put it together, join it. The backpack, it goes around the backpack, and there's like this hole at the back where that flows around it. And
I would say if you've built the Age of Darkness Praetors, it's very reminiscent of that.
it's
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. And I mean, I didn't. Ed worked on those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I didn't actually work on those. I saw the capes, but didn't.
See, I have
didn't-
done one of those,
yeah.
and I remember the very same
Oh,
problem.
tell a lie.
Yeah.
Actually, no, tell a lie. I made them. I made it all, and then me and Ed met up, and then we started painting it.
Oh,
So,
okay,
tell a lie. So
yeah.
I did make it. Beg your pardon. But it's very reminiscent of that, like you said. And I think that like having the clasp for the cape molded on the shoulder pads, and then having to put the cape on, it was really. I'll be honest with you. I really had nearly had an argument with the model because of like trying to put this cape on. And I think personally capes should be optional. But going back on what I was saying is like I think one of the virtues of computer-aided design is that obviously you can try stuff out as you're designing and stuff like that. And I think one of the things that like for me it feels is that maybe like the painting process, irrelevant of whether the person actually doing the design is thought of is a painter, I think the painting maybe hasn't been taken so much into consideration about this model, just purely because like the cape, the way it goes on, the connection points. Bear in mind as well, this is like a launch box, and I always think
Yeah.
a launch box is like Horus Heresy is a bit of I say niche game. It's obviously a lot of people that are familiar with the books and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
It's their
etc.
third most popular game.
But
Yeah.
if
it's not the top dog.
If you've got someone new getting
I was
into
gonna
it,
say,
if you've got
yeah.
someone new getting into it, I think potentially like could be a little bit challenging
Yeah.
potentially. So having things like the option of a cape and not actually having to have to go on the model.
And
Because
none of these are push fit, are they?
No, they're not push fit as well.
So it's not as though it's aimed at new players.
No, probably not. That's the thing. If it's again, it is as a product, it's probably not targeted for new people. But if you are a new player getting into it, the uphill climb on the building and cleaning and the instructions is a lot steeper for somebody. And if you're watching this and you've not played Horus Heresy before, you're new into Warhammer, and you know, I'm not trying to put you off the box, because the models are great at the end of the day. Like, they're really cool. Like, there's some really amazing design aspects, loads of great little things on there. But I think the building side of it for them is not the easiest, being honest.
What if I told you you can easily take the basing on your miniatures to the next level? Well, now you can with the new basing range from Siege Scenics. Siege Scenics is dedicated to helping you create immersive and realistic environments for your miniatures that feel both alive and dynamic, whether you're setting the stage for your tabletop battle or telling a rich, unfolding story on a competition display. From the lush hues of summer grass to cold alien landscapes, Siege Scenics has you covered with expertly crafted and innovative products that capture the ever-changing beauty of nature and let you bring it straight to your miniatures. To see the full range and upgrade your bases, head to siegescenics.co.uk or check with your local retailer. I had a similar issue, which we'll get to when I speak about mine. I think irrelevant of if you're a new hobbyist or not, it's still the same challenge, because even as myself, someone who's built and painted hundreds and hundreds of models before, that doesn't mean it can't be a challenge.
Yeah.
Experience isn't always relevant at a certain point. And I think my issue with this box as a whole is like just the sprue design generally, not necessarily even for any one specific model. The thing that I noticed when we just like first opened the box is just the quantity of parts per sprue is much higher than I am used to seeing, given how, like, based on the amount of models that are in the box. Like, sometimes you get a big box set and there's like loads and loads of sprues and then loads of stuff, but there'll be like tons of models.
Yeah.
There's a lot of models in this box.
There's a lot of models, yeah.
But even so, like the Saturnine Terminators, for example, there are 6 of those. Yeah. There are 2 models per double-sided sprue. So you get 3 of this to build 6 models, which to me is like way more than I would typically be used to.
The Saturnine Terminator Praetor, and it's like...
I mean, that's a massive sprue,
It's a
isn't it?
massive
Let's be
sprue.
honest.
There's a lot on there. Like, and I know you've got various options. You've got like 4 heads on there and all that kind of stuff. And having all the options, like the spare heads and stuff, is phenomenal. Is great. It's not, don't get me wrong. But I just think like again, I'm not a miniature designer, and I want to put this as a caveat out there. I'm not sitting here as someone experienced in designing miniatures. I'm a painter, and I'm obviously a hobbyist, and I'm talking it purely from that perspective. Models are great. The design aesthetic is great. They're Space Marines. I love Space Marines. I've got nothing there. I just think that there's like some little things on the models which, if they were done, I think that it would just make the experience for somebody making them slightly better, in my opinion. Like, again, the cape on capes are great, and obviously 40k, we've got loads of characters with capes and all this kind of stuff. I think that the option of them would help massively.
The design language is quite different though, because in Horus Heresy, there's tons of capes on Praetors and stuff. Yeah. I always feel like the design style is quite different to 40k stuff.
Yeah, there is a difference.
But the 40k stuff, if you get a captain with a cape, it tends to be very flat, flowing. With the Horus Heresy stuff, it's this like massive cape that's like folded in like a million different directions. Yeah. And they tend to be in like 4 or 5 pieces.
Yeah. I think the reason for that though is, again, if we're going on the context of maybe this box is targeted at more of an experienced game room and painter, then that probably alludes to the fact why those decisions are made, which is understandable. The Dreadnought, for example, like I really wanted to build the Dreadnought. Yeah. I was like, I love Dreadnoughts. Like, if you know me well enough, you know that I love like all the way from the metal paperweight from the second.
I actually think it's really cool, the new Dreadnought.
The Dreadnought's amazing. I think it looks great. It's really cool. I know
it's a bit of a divided.
Yeah, I get that.
Response,
I get that. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
but
I
love it. I
really think it's really cool. The paint job is phenomenal on the box art as well.
Paul absolutely smashed it. Smashed it. And I looked at the instructions and I was like, I'm not building it. Like, I'm just not building it. Like the Contempt, when I've done the Heresy, the Age of Darkness box, I love Contempt and love Dreadnoughts. The toes are like 3, 4, 5 pieces each for a toe. I was
had the same problem.
I was like, why can't it just be one single piece? It's a toe. Like, I get the I get that, like, on a sprue, you want the sprue to look really engaging and have loads of different things on it. I get that, but I think that there is a cliff edge where it becomes too much.
Well, also, the smaller the parts get, the more frustrating they are to clip off, clean, glue, get your little tweezers.
Yeah.
Like the smaller the bits get, the more complicated that becomes for me. And just the more parts that you break something down into, the smaller those parts inherently get.
Okay, well, I've got two questions for you then.
Yeah.
All right. Given that there are a lot of parts on these kits, on these sprues, when these actually come out individually, right? Say this Praetor or whatever is 30 quid.
Yeah.
Let's just, for argument's sake, it's 30 quid. Do you think that they're putting this amount of parts on there at that price level
For value.
perhaps for value? Because if you look at other
Maybe,
companies and a £30 price kit,
You get a lot of
£30
stuff.
kit, there's a lot more parts in those kits.
That is a very,
and then
very
my
good.
second question is, are you more prepared to pay £30 to another company for the same amount of parts and make it rather than that amount of parts?
That's a very, very good point. The other thing I've got to just overlay with that as well is that, again, like with the design aspect of it, I'm sitting here obviously giving an opinion on something. That's not taking into consideration any of the internal guidance on how the design should be done, above the designer, if that makes sense. Like for the exact reasons you're saying, for value on the sprue. And you're quite right. Like having this many parts on a sprue, if I unbox this, I go, oh wow, that's like loads, and it does give you that.
Feel like you got your money's worth.
It does give you that perception, which is good. And I think that's especially when you're paying a premium price and you're paying obviously that is a very good point. I think though, my point I'm trying to make is I think there can be a hybrid. I think you can have loads of parts, but the way that it goes together can also be in a way that gives ultimately more value because it's an option. Oh, this one does come with a cape. Can I put it on? Can I not put it on? Like maybe that cape might.
I mean, you're
go
getting
on another
really
model.
You're getting really into the cape thing, but I do think that extends to all parts of the model. Like it's not just the cape. Like the Terminator that I built was 52 components. 52. There's no forget cape and options and all that stuff. Forget the optional parts. Like just having something be in that many pieces. When you've got to build multiple of them, characters, I kind of get your point. Yeah. But when I've got to do 6 of them, especially in the context of an army box, we've got to build the whole thing. It's too much. Like it's just not necessary. There's so many times I was sticking bits on, and I'm like, this is not necessary.
Okay. Then my next 2 questions is, why are you rushing through it? Right, take your time, enjoy the process. And B is you're willing to accept a challenge in your painting process, but why not the same sort of challenge in the build process?
That's actually that's a very good question. Very good.
Which is what I see these as. These are a bit of like the painting is one side of it, and the build is like this is like this is going to be a challenge to build.
I think you nailed it because for me, as soon as it was done, I was like, oh cool.
Yeah.
So I think
all that goes disappears
because ultimately the thing is I want to get onto what I enjoy. I enjoy.
You want the dessert before the dinner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I'm guilty. I'm guilty for eating all the things on the plate I love first, and leaving the stuff. I'm guilty for that. That's how I am. But like, but the thing is like you're quite right. I think because that was. I know I'm going on cape rant at the minute, and I don't mean to be, but like that. Apart from that, everything else was grand, and like, there was choices. There was all these kind of bits, and I get that totally. But like. My point I'm trying to make is I think that there's like a balance to be thing. And I think potentially...
But I think in the box set you have that balance because...
The Mark II Marines are amazing, by the way.
I was just going to say, you've got these really detailed kits and then you've got the Mark IIs, which are pretty basic.
They're honestly, I'm going to say this...
Which on the same level, you got the basicness of the kit building and the painting level of those.
Yeah.
So
the Mark IIs are phenomenal. Like they are absolutely amazing. And they're like a really... cool kit, really reminiscent of the ones from the Age of Darkness box,
the Mark 6.
The Mark 6. They're like fantastic. So like I just think that like as I said, like I think there's a couple of things like decisions and choices. I actually think like having optional things. I see like multiple head options, multiple weapon options. Like for example, this Praetor comes with like a hammer and an axe, so he's got like 2 options, which is really cool. I think that's good. Like I think just having a little bit of extra flexibility with like, especially from a painting perspective. So not to use the name of the show as a pun, but like, if I had the option to do it separately, I'd probably still paint it as in the cape. But then I go, do I want it on? Do I not? Whereas with this, I said like it makes decisions for me as in like, I've got to paint it off the base so I can access the underside, access the back of the legs, all this kind of stuff, etc. So I think it just predetermines a certain couple of choices and things.
As miniature painters, we all know how important it is to have good quality tools, brushes, and paints. But if you want to improve your miniatures, None of those items matter if you can't properly see what it is you're painting in the first place. That's why one of the most important upgrades I've ever made to my miniature painting setup was my Onyx painting lamp from Native Lighting. Its incredibly bright 2200 lumen, dimmable LEDs cast soft and diffuse light on my workspace. Plus, its highly adjustable articulating arm allows me to finally sit in the perfect painting position for hours on end without any aches or strain. And its daylight colour balance temperature of 6500K gives you the confidence that the colours you're painting on your miniatures are true to life and your miniatures will pop on the tabletop. To upgrade your setup to the professional grade equipment that we rely on here at the studio, head to siegestudios.co.uk/shop or check the link in this episode's description. To answer your question as well, Paul, I think that's a very, very fair criticism, and I do think that it's relative to like who you are as a hobbyist.
Yeah.
What I might like, you might not like, and vice versa. That's all fair. My gripe with it, like while I said the number of components, it was the fact that it was causing me to make like more mistakes than I felt was necessary,
Right.
and like just fiddly bits for the sake of being fiddly bits
Yeah.
that are going to get like covered up by other stuff.
Yeah.
Especially in the context of these guys with like the massive shoulder
Yeah,
pads.
sure.
So like, and one example is I was putting two parts together, and I thought they didn't fit right at first, so I started trying to fill the gap. But it turns out that gap was actually meant to be like a sort of recess. So I ended up like accidentally, because the instructions had confused me a little bit,
Yeah.
and I'm like 37 parts deep into this project, and you're starting to like lose your mind.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like when I've got like a fist
Mm.
and I've got to attach his pinky finger separately,
Yeah.
that to me is not value.
Wow, it's content.
The other aspect of it, and this is the thing again, because we don't know the design process not in sensitive like obviously the actual designing of it, but the like even the layout of the sprue. So like every single new sprue that you see from most games companies, you don't like empty space. So we say about the pinky finger, and I'm obviously going from one side of the fence to the other here, but I'm trying to give absolutely fair criticism and also at the same time take both sides into consideration. The companies might not want like a blank corner or like a big void. I remember, if you remember any of the early sprues, like
Just hollow space.
Catachan sprues.
Oh, they were
you got more
massive
sprue than you got. Like it was literally like
a massive frame
do you
with
know,
two bits in
I
the
know,
middle.
do you know what I mean? So I think
Yeah.
that there is that perception of value, which is really important.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah, but you just got, for me, it's like you've got to do a cleanup and stuff. I quite like to get every single little nub
sure.
and mold line. More pieces means more mold lines, means more connection points to the sprue, which means more places for me to accidentally mess up clipping, more sprue spurs for me to have to clip off and clean. So just that in itself massively slows things down.
Like, I didn't put a couple of things on this guy. So on the Centurion at the front, you're supposed to have like two. They're almost like medallion things that like hang down from the front.
Yeah.
Didn't put them on. I was like, I wanted the chest to be a bit more open so I can see like the details of the pipes and like the little like the diagnostic port and all that stuff on there. You got the raised gorget and all that stuff. I didn't really want to cover that with like two big things hanging down. So I was just like, well, I just won't put those on. And does it make that much of a difference to the model?
Yeah.
Like
No.
putting them on, it's you know, it's
So that's why I sort of say
questionable.
maybe these are for not such beginners, but more
maybe
sort of
that's
intermediate.
Maybe that's you're 100% correct.
You know,
maybe this-
before they jump onto sort of the expert type kits.
Yeah, true.
Well, and like we said, someone listening to this might be like, oh, they're whinging about there being loads of parts. That sounds great, you know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
you know, it's
Well,
relative.
actually, I quite like that there's loads of bits because I'm in the camp where I don't build armies. So the whole army would just be, that's a lot of parts. So whereas I just buy one character and I think, that's all right, I'll do that. I mean, I might find it a pain in the butt to put together, but I know at the end of it, I'll have something cool to paint.
Yeah, very true.
It's a very, I think they're great. I think they're really cool
I
miniatures.
do agree. I do think that what you said is a very fair point. That if you looked at this in the context of all the parts being separate,
Yeah.
and I will say as well, me and James are obviously like having to rush to put these together for
Yeah,
the
of
videos and stuff,
course. Yeah.
which is a unrelatable
That's another
factor
pressure, isn't it,
that's
to have-
probably
yeah.
subconsciously in our heads.
If
so that's
if
fair.
I'd probably had if I'd more time or like whatever the case may be, then potentially like I'd probably approach it in a different way or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things is I really want to just caveat this. Like I don't think negatively of the actual models or the things. I just think there's a couple of things that could have potentially made my experience of making it a bit better than what it was.
Yeah.
You know, and.
Yeah.
Again, I still, even though I said that things I said about the foot on the dreadnought, I still look at it. I'm like, I really want to build that. you know,
Yeah.
like, but it's just, it's like it's quite a lot of
It's
of
a
stuff,
hurdle you got to get over
Yeah,
to get
yeah.
to the bit that you enjoy most.
which is the painting. Yeah,
So,
100%. Yeah.
Interesting point though, because me and you are both people who enjoy building models.
Yeah, we do really usually enjoy building models, and it's not that I didn't enjoy the process. I just
Suboptimal.
It wasn't as I'd expected. That's all.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Should we get into the painting then?
Yeah,
Because we did paint them.
yeah, we did paint
had a
them,
go,
yeah.
didn't you?
We've both not finished ours yet because we obviously have to record these episodes in advance a little bit. So we haven't had tons of time yet to finish these up. We've both got fairly far in the process.
Yeah. So I started on Saturday afternoon after I built it.
Saturnine day.
Yeah, you can use
Good
that
one.
pun. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll give you that. I done a little bit of painting on Saturday afternoon, for a couple of hours. Once it was like airbrushed like the red and all that, and then I went full bore painting mode on Sunday and spent most of Sunday painting this, which was really good. Again, really sort of pleasant experience. I said the one thing I will say about the sculpt is the details are super crisp.
I was going to say, it looks highly detailed.
Yeah, they are phenomenal.
Almost goes without saying these days.
Yeah.
Doesn't
It
it?
is so good. Like the quality of the casting of the sprue, and also like the refinement of detail is just fantastic.
What was your painting process?
Airbrushed it. So once it was made, undercoated it. Just a black, so Chaos Black or Colour Forge, one or the other. I can't remember. I think it might have been Chaos Black. Done a little bit of a Mephiston can over it just to start off with. Just a little dust.
Do they
Yeah.
still do Mephiston?
Yeah, they do.
In the can?
Yeah,
Do they?
Mephiston. Well, I've got it.
I think I bought one. A little
When
while
they
ago, don't you?
discontinue cans, they don't disappear from your house. You know, like I've got.
That's valid.
I've got them.
Yeah,
I've
no,
got
that's
them.
valid.
They
Of
don't-
course he's got them.
Yeah, they don't disappear. I'm sure they still do the red.
I'm sure they do.
When it's tangent. When
I'm sure they do because I bought. Well,
they might do.
Why are you questioning me
Yeah.
then?
No, I bought
Like-
one a little while ago. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
change them. They change them all the time. Don't
Yeah.
They?
Yeah.
Tangent though.
Yeah.
Went to James's house to do a bit of painting a
Yeah.
little while ago. He pulled out cans older than me, Paul.
Yeah.
Like ancient
Yeah.
little old Citadel cans.
And I bet they've
artwork
seen more
I've never
movies than
seen.
you have.
I have. Yeah, they've probably
Yeah.
seen more movies.
Well,
yeah.
Paul, the painting them was not good.
It was good.
Did you shake it for 2 minutes?
It worked.
That's
It's fine.
suggested.
So once it was,
You ain't saving that.
once it had a dust of Mephiston on it, I then went over with the colour that I love, which is blood red, and that is what the rest of the Heresy army that we've got in the studio is painted at. And that,
bright,
that
isn't it?
went on really good. And yeah, so then I just basically whenever I paint blood angels, I always tackle the hardest. Anyone who knows me or has done a class or whatever knows that like I'm a big advocate of tackling the thing that you hate the most first,
Right.
because then everything after it gets easier and gets less on the model.
Let me
So-
guess.
The trim?
Blocking in the black.
Yes.
Oh.
Nailed it.
100%. Yeah.
Also, my least favourite
Yeah,
part of
so
painting blood
I was
angels.
just like, "Do you know what? Let's just do it. And yeah, so just started blocking in all of the black. And actually, even though there is a lot of black on the model, it was after I painted the black that I realised I actually hadn't painted the next dominant colour after the red, being the black. It's actually the gold.
Yeah.
Because this guy has got more trim on it than you could possibly imagine.
An
And I
average Chaos Marine.
yeah, it's
Do you
probably
not
more-
undercoat your metallics with black as well? Because when I do my blood angels, I do everything that's going to be gold, black as part of the black
No.
base coating stage.
No.
You just go straight over the
Go
red.
straight over, and then yeah, I mean they go on really smooth and they're lovely as metallics, and then yeah, like because he's a blood angel, I was like everything that's trim has to be gold because
You sat and went, this is perfect.
yeah, it's good, it's really good. There's so much trim on it. Like he's got courgette, which is like intricate. You've got
It's a
like
vegetable, isn't it?
what's
Put
that?
them into sandwiches and things.
No, it's courgette.
I know.
yeah. You've got the round circular. Interesting bit of armor on him is the round circular like tummy plate. Like that's
Tummy plate.
That's what it is.
Tummy plate.
It's a
Oh, you got a little tummy plate.
What else?
forget your tummy plate,
What else? What are you going to call it? It's a tummy plate. And then yeah, he's got obviously like some chainmail, and he's got obviously like the sort of like codpiece armor as well. Like so, there's loads of bits on there, but yeah, loads of trim, which is good. You two are cracking up for something. I don't know why, but anyway,
The tummy plate thing.
is it still getting you? Yeah. And then once the gold was on, it was then really sort of just pin shading it, and then starting the first highlight stage and second highlight stage, and then I actually done the mace as like all silver at one point.
All right.
But I was like,
Not quite.
No, it's got to
quite.
be like it's got to have some kind of like gold on it, just because obviously it's a blood.
Nobody
angel,
wants
so.
to be clubbed to death with silver.
No, so the base is done. Base is my same recipe I've done for the Hawk Lords
Okay.
because I wanted a little bit of it's an urban style base, but it's
Yeah.
got like a reddish brownish tinge to it as well.
Very like dusty.
Yeah, I think it makes
Yeah.
it feel like a bit more, and that reddish tone. Like, I say red. I use a color called red black from Vallejo model color, and it's like a wine.
Typical Vallejo name.
Yeah.
Red black.
Yeah, of course. I use that same color for the pin shading on the armor as well as the base, and it just adds a bit of like a purpley tone to the base.
It's nice. It's great.
It's like a dark plum sort of color, maybe. Is
Yeah,
it?
so
Dark plum.
that's exactly it. Yeah, you should give Vallejo that name.
Exquisite, Paul. Exquisite.
So the reason why I did it is because I knew first of all I wanted him standing on a Sons of Horus Rhino because the turquoisey blue green kind of color.
Does that come with it, or have you just got loads of rhinos hanging
It's
around?
on the sprue, mate.
Is it?
It's on the sprue. Look.
Brilliant.
It's on
Let's
right
have a
there,
look at that.
Bit of rhino on the sprue.
How did you notice that that's a rhino?
Because it is.
Knowledge.
I know you're right, but I wouldn't have realised at first. That would have taken me a minute. Yeah, fair play.
I just looked at it and went,
Would you have immediately seen that as a rhino?
I can't even see it. Hang on.
looks like a bit of a rhino.
God, your
This
knowledge
bit
is
this
insane,
bit more
James.
looks like a rhino than
I'm
that
sure
bit
you're going to
to
make
me.
me question myself.
No,
now.
I believe you. It's the fact that
Yeah.
you know every kit so well that you
It-
can look at a tiny
It
little
might, do
cutout.
you know what it might not be? It might be the front of a Sicarian, like the front of a Sicarian, or it might be a
Oh,
rhino.
silly
Oh,
me.
yeah, one of those.
One of those.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Anyway.
either way, I wanted a Sons of Horus one on the
Yeah.
base purely because I was like, the greeny blue, obviously green, contrasting color, complementary color of red, so it works really well. And it's got that turquoise, which is obviously like a harmony. So I was like, right, well, I'll do that. And then that's exactly why I put purple, like a Merlot wine color. It's
Yeah.
like the shading color on the base is because that purpley hue then is a harmony to the red. So they work together. So
Yeah.
that's essentially why I've done it. But I obviously the blood red being so bright, I wanted like a high contrast, or the value being high to the rest of the model of the base, which is why I've done the things I did. I've got to say as well, this mace has got I went round it and it's got like 8 power nodes on it. Like
I know, right?
I went all right, there's one there, there's one there,
One,
there's one there. So I kept going round and it was like
There's
it
a
was
lot
like
of OSL on that.
power node fest. But yeah, it was quite cool. And yeah, so like all the bits that dangle off of him, like for example, the bits, the clasps.
Did
it's
he have
really-
a servo skull as well?
He did. I didn't put that on.
Yeah,
I'm
I
going to
was
be
gonna
honest.
say,
Did not put that on.
see-
I was
see
like,
him on.
I just wanted him to be no powers to be invited to this party. I just literally wanted the model.
I didn't really inherently realise either, because the box art is like so well done and tasteful, that these aren't Legion specific Praetors either. Like, it wasn't until you painted it that I even realised, oh yeah, it's actually generic. Like they've done such a good job with the box art.
Yeah.
that I thought it was an Iron Warrior specific.
Yeah.
I've got, and that is, I think, touching upon the design side of it. That is the one of the real things I want to touch upon with this is that the design aesthetic of it is done so that you can literally paint any Legion color scheme.
Yeah,
on
it looks
it,
great.
and it works.
The whole lot, Death Guard.
I'm going to say it again, so get ready to laugh if you're going to laugh. But the tummy plate, all right, okay,
It's ridiculous.
is a great place, and I do plan to put on like a Legion transfer there on the tummy plate.
It's more like Lionel or someone from a cartoon. He's got his symbol on his badge.
Yeah, from like Care Bears.
Care Bear.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the tummy plate is going to get a Legion transfer, and then he's obviously got the banner as well, which is really cool. And you got that circular bit in the banner, so I'm going to put like a Blood Angel symbol in there as well. But yeah, as I said, really, I had loads of fun painting it. I have enjoyed painting it. Model's fantastic, irrelevant of any little gripes at the beginning, but just really, really lovely model. And do you know what? I'm not a connoisseur of the stoic pose, I'll be honest with you. Like, I love a dynamic action pose, but do really, really love. He looks solid. He looks absolutely solid.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, I really, really had a great time painting it. So massive thank you to GW for sending us the box. It's been fantastic. I've had a great experience with what I've done with it. So yeah.
Nice.
And you've painted
George?
I painted one of the Terminators as an
just
Iron
one.
Warrior. Well, I'm content's content. All right. I'm in the process
Sure.
of painting this for an upcoming video.
Yeah.
But so I'm about, I'd say, halfway is a fair
Yeah.
way to assess that. It's interesting listening to James talk about his painting process because
Yeah.
it's much more calculated than mine.
Yeah.
Because when you ask me about this, I'm going to go, painted silver, put some shading on it.
That's it.
No, it's been fun. I really like the Iron Warriors color scheme as well.
They're
I think
great.
it's one that's if you're looking to paint an army really, really fast, I think that's one of the best ways to do it because all of the metallics are super, super quick and easy, very forgiving for mistakes. If your edge highlights aren't perfect, the surface is already a bit reflective. It's a bit more subdued. You can get away with it. And also when you start doing the weathering and stuff. And then the hazard stripes are a really nice focal point.
Yeah.
Massive
Pops
contrast,
out.
aren't they? Yeah.
They're not as challenging to do as you might expect. And I actually done these in 2 different ways. So I done the shoulder pad. I done airbrushed with some like masking tape. Then the one on the leg I done by freehand as well, just to sort of
Spice it up.
See what the difference was like. And also I thought that the shoulder pad was easy to keep separate, whereas the leg I didn't really want to mask off like all the surrounding body and stuff. So I just freehanded that on.
Yeah.
But no, I really think that would be a really great color scheme if you wanted to just get the whole army done, or just an army in general. Like I mean, we ripped on Joe a bit for his 40k army being all metallics, and I was saying how fast it would be to do. But,
Love a metallic scheme.
I mean, it might take you longer to put the whole set together, but if you was doing,
you'll make it back painting for sure.
I mean, if you just do all the rank and file, if you sprayed them all black, you could just dry brush the whole lot.
Yeah.
In an afternoon, get it they're done. And
I also think that true metallics done well
will look good on them.
Look so good.
Yeah, they will look good on
like
them.
these, I've spent a lot rather than just chucking a load of wash on it. I've actually sat there and recessed shade and carefully glazed on lots of tones. So I've done lots of like brown tones, and I've treated it very much as people. I hear from people all the time, especially like tuition and on the Patreon and privately and stuff. People think of metallics as being this like completely different paint, but I treat it very much exactly the same. Paint goes on the wet palette, thin it down, multiple thin layers, shade it appropriately, glazes on top, like the whole shebang. Edge highlight, like just as you would do anything else. And if you treat it that way, you can get a really, really stunning result for, I think, I don't want to say lower effort, but it's, again, more forgiving because if you make a bit of a stain with your wash and your shading and stuff, it's not as prominent because the surface underneath is already reflective and metallic.
Yeah.
It looks more correct.
And it's going to look stained because it's metal, isn't it?
It just doesn't show as well anyway. Like if you took one of my Blood Angels that I do, and I do a lot of glaze shading on the leg panels, it takes loads and loads and loads and loads of layers to get that really nice and smooth.
Yeah.
With a metallic, you can just do like 3 or 4 thicker glazes on top.
Yeah.
And you don't see the staining quite so much. And I think that they look really nice when they're highlighted up. And like I said, having I think if they were all just like metallic, they would look quite bland.
Yeah.
But because the Iron Warrior scheme has got that really, really eye-catching hazard stripe, which is really, really vibrant, contrasts really nicely. I think on the table, look at that in the middle of the table there. You wouldn't know that that's not finished.
Yeah.
Because it just looks like if we was gaming with that, you'd think,
just get on with it.
Yeah, exactly.
It was good. I mean, I said like I love Iron Warriors. I've always loved them. I obviously had a full army of them, 40k, but like and they are very quick to paint when you do that, especially with like you said, stenciling on like the not stenciling, like masking on or taping on the
hazard stripes.
The hazard stripes, so that works really well. But yeah, they're like it's a fantastic scheme. And I said I'm a big fan of Metallic Army like as well. So like, I've obviously got one with the exemplars, and Joe's doing his one. And like again, we always talk about it because it's such a cool scheme, cool thing. With Paul Norton's obviously Iron Ravens, they're fantastic.
You've got Darren Latham's Silver Skulls as well.
Dad's got his Silver Skulls as well. So like there's some really, really cool like metallic themed armies out there that are done by really, really like mega painters, and like they still look fantastic. Do you know what I mean? So,
but equally,
if
you want to just
much time,
dry brush them and whatever, that's
you
fine
can,
too.
yeah.
But I would say that I think what I've just suggested is like a great middle ground. It's still quicker than doing like a flat color, but it looks nicer than just dry brushing.
So you got
heavy wash.
You can spend the time on the characters, and then you can quickly whiz out the rank and file.
And also like where it counts. Like you can spend more time doing things that do stand out, like the hazard stripes, because you know that the little bit of metallic on the back isn't.
Yeah.
You can do that quick. Save your time there.
Yeah.
Spend a bit more time glazing on the shins and stuff you can see more of. It all blends in. It all looks nice.
Yeah.
No, they're good. I think they look good. Look great.
I can't work out if the Terminators are bigger or smaller than I thought they were going to be. They're kind of in the middle.
They're great. I mean, I just do like the
They're
size.
sizable. I mean, I'll hold it up on camera for context. I mean, it is a decent sized miniature.
Yeah, they are really cool.
About, I'd say a normal Terminator comes up to about his head.
Tell you what it reminds me of. Chaos Obliterator.
Yes.
Chaos Obliterator is what that reminds me of.
He's all shoulder pad though. Don't be fooled.
He's all in the shoulders.
It's chunky armor, mate.
He's fresh off of Fifth Element.
I don't think the armor is actually that much bigger than Terminator armor. I just think it's the shoulders.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it
So
gets the height there, doesn't it?
yeah,
For that?
potentially.
Definitely.
But yeah, no, it's a great model. Like really, really good. I said design aesthetic, like all the things. Like again,
Mm.
Mark IIs. Mark IIs are phenomenal.
The Dreadnought as well, we've said, is
Dreadnought
tremendous.
is fantastic. I like. Do you know what I really
I
love?
even like that big
the
spider
Tarantula
cannon thing.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. Like the huge like quad cannon is like
Is it
amazing.
the accelerator?
Yeah.
Quad accelerator
It's the same. I think it's the same
thing.
same auto cannons that are on the Sicarian, but it's 4 of them rather than 2.
Yeah.
It's great. That's amazing. Anti-armor, anti-infantry. So
Mm.
so yeah, overall, like really fantastic set of miniatures in the box. Maybe aimed at a slightly more experienced modeler or hobbyist, whatever. But like, I still think that like if you got loads of time and you want to go through the build process of it, then yeah, I think that you'll get loads of value out of it. And you know,
Yeah.
you're quite right. Models, the sprues are jam packed.
Yeah.
Which is good.
My advice always for these boxes is just know who you are.
Yeah.
If you're just really, really excited about 2 or 3 models, don't get sucked into the FOMO. They're going to come out separately.
Eventually.
You can
They
get
will.
them
Yeah.
when you need them without buying the whole giant box set.
Mm.
If you do want to get into Horus Heresy, I think this would be a great box. If you want to
Yeah.
do it as 2 armies or 1 army, I like the sculpts personally. I know the box is quite pricey. There is a lot of stuff in it. That's going to be up to you.
Yeah.
I can't really sit here and...
It does
I think-
contain the core rules as well, though. to be
Exactly.
fair.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff in there. It's hard to sit and judge prices of stuff because it's going to be of different value to different sorts of
everybody,
people.
yeah.
So I don't want to just sit here and say like, oh, it's super expensive because it's for you, it might be expensive. For someone else, it might be fairly priced. It depends how much value you think you're going to get out of it. You know?
Do you know what is good? And I am glad. Blast markers and
Blast
flamer
markers.
tempers are back. Yeah,
got
I
some
say
dice
back.
in
They've
there
always
as
been
well.
in. They've always been heresy, but yeah. Seeing this,
The big chunky ruler.
It warms my heart
I
like
know.
you would not believe.
Great.
Yeah, no,
It's funny seeing those.
absolutely love these. These
Yeah.
are fantastic.
Perfect colour as well, aren't they? They've got,
Yeah,
they've got the
exactly.
colour
You've
right.
got the flame.
I
You've
know,
got
right?
the flame
Yeah.
cut out on it. It's brilliant. Yeah,
So
like
good.
yeah, it's really good to see these as well, which is great.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Awesome.
But,
Yeah. Well, thank you again to Games Workshop for sending it to us free for review. If you want to check it out, we have an affiliate link in the description. That's totally up to you, but it helps out the show. Should we do a hobby hack?
yeah, sure. What you got for us this week?
I've got one.
Have you?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I was recently doing a custom service commission for Siege.
I know where this is going now. Harry said that. I know where this is going.
Had some. Basically, it's a converted. I've forgotten his name. Tiberus.
Yeah.
Custom sculpted. Phenomenal, by the way.
Oh, yes.
Really, really enjoyed painting that. But that's besides the point. He had some Tyranids.
An epic base, if I recall.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Some Tyranids and one that he was holding up, sort of severed head, Predator style,
Yeah,
the spine.
spine.
Very cool. I wanted to. The client wanted some blood effects and stuff on there, which I'm fine with. But I think that just chucking blood at something sometimes is a bit too.
You know, toothbrush measured.
It's not enough
Yeah.
sometimes. I
Or
think
too much.
Also very true. So I wanted to kind of zhuzh it up, for lack
Wow.
of a
Is that
better
the
word.
official
What a
word?
word.
Yeah.
Zhuzh.
Yeah, we're going to
What
zhuzh it up.
does zhuzh mean?
Just add a bit of spice, Paul.
Does it? A
not
bit of
cooking.
Yeah, a little
It's
bit
not
of that.
bit of,
cooking.
little bit of Salt Bay in there.
So I wanted to add a bit of spice. So
Yeah.
on the Tyranids, they've got these like open mouth kind of poses, and I thought it'd be cool to add some like blood and spittle and things like that in
Yeah.
there. And I've seen many, many times on YouTube and TikTok clips and all that good stuff where people get the UHU glue. Goo. I don't know what it's called. Yoo-hoo.
Yeah.
Yoo-hoo.
Yoo-hoo goo. You know the stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's like a glue.
Yellow tube.
It's a very thick glue
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is quite stringy and goopy.
Yeah.
And people use that to their advantage to make like strings and bits like that. But I've never really, I've seen people use like a toothpick and try to get it in there, but this stuff is
Sort
so
of drag it.
so sticky.
Hmm.
It's hard to get it like to stick to the bit you want and then go to connect it to the other bit you want, like spiderweb, and then
stay
actually
there.
remove it
Yeah,
without
stay
bringing
there.
it all off with you.
You've got to let it cure a little bit, though, haven't you? Is there any...
It's a bit of a minefield, right? However, I use, and I've said as a previous hobby hack, I buy these precision super glue applicators. They're kind of like semi-disposable. They're a generic fit. They go on like most super glue pots. They're actually in the recommended products link down below. And I use those all the time. And I thought, I wonder because the UHU glue is quite thick, and it's like a needle applicator. And I was like, I wonder if it'd actually like flow through, or if it would just clog and immediately dry up.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll give it a go. So with some
Be a rubbish hack if it just got clogged up, wouldn't it?
with some convincing,
Yeah.
it does fit on. So you've got like a threaded kind
Yeah.
of tip on the glue, and you can kind of push the applicator like all the way down. And if you give it enough of a twist, it will kind of like stretch. It will stretch over the thread,
Right.
and then it'll be secure.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, okay, right, we're off to a good start here. squeeze it through, expecting it to like immediately dry out.
Yeah.
To my surprise, it did not. So I basically was able to get this like needle applicator, almost like feels like icing a cake, like
Yeah.
a piping bag. Just got it right in there.
I've got visions of George now with a Yoo-hoo pipe bag
Yeah.
on the miniature.
Pretty much though, to be fair. And I just basically just like squeezed the dot out on like one of the teeth, and then just dragged it to the other tooth, squeezed another little dot out, waited like 5 or 10 seconds, pulled it away. Bosh.
It works, does it?
Lovely little saliva string, which I then went in with some blood effects added over the top. It created that like kind of coagulated blood thing. You can also use it to create like drips and things like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But I've never seen anyone use the
Needle applicator.
little precision applicators for them.
Fair.
I have a sort of a minor hobby hack that I saw another chap doing, which is blood and things related.
Yeah.
And I mentioned this to you during the week, I think,
Mhm.
where it was if you put a little dribble or a little blob of white spirit or, those sorts of things, painting spirits, thinning spirits, onto your model and then put your blood on top of that.
Like while it's still wet.
While it's still wet, the white spirits creates a barrier. So you end up with this kind of weird sort of looking bloody blob
Okay.
that you can drag down. And ultimately, it looks a little bit more realistic than just trying to paint a blob of the sort of the texture paint or whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah.
The technical paint straight onto your
Love the
model.
bug god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's something maybe you can try as well. It's
a good idea.
Give it a go.
Thing.
Yeah.
I've not tried it. I've seen it. I see the chap do it. It looked really good, but that's someone else doing it. I've done it plenty of times. But yeah, I don't know. I might try it. I'm like, I'll give everything a go. So I'll have a go at that. I think that's
It's hard with the blood stuff. Like less is more, I think.
Yeah,
But also
100%.
Yeah.
sometimes more is more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more is great.
So
yeah, but yeah,
you can get
I know
carried
what
away a
mean.
little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll put some here, put some there, and then sometimes by the time you think, it looks rubbish as well. So it's really, I think it's really tricky. I find it difficult to get it.
You can
get it
always
right.
add more. You can never take it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little tactical tip as well. If you're someone who varnishes your models, do the blood effects after you varnish the model because you want to keep the glossiness. Or if you've forgotten to do that and you messed it up, get some gloss varnish, just put it on the palette with your paintbrush, brush it back over all of the blood that you've already painted on, gives it the glossiness back. And then you've got a nice contrast of finish as well. So you've not only got the contrast in colour, you've got the contrast in matte surface, gloss
Glossy,
surface.
wet looking surface.
Yeah.
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 Good.
A fresh splash of blood.
Yeah. Great hack.
Thank you. Thank you very
Nice.
much. Cool. On that note, then, I think we'll round out the show there. Massive thank you for listening to this week's episode of Painted Perspective. We're going to jump over now to the post show, which is a benefit for our patrons. So if you want to get an additional 20, 30 minutes, sometimes more, of the podcast every single week, access to all of the backdated ones, access to all of the extended video tutorials, hundreds of PDF tutorials, loads of other exclusive content, loads of cool podcast stuff, loads of cool painting stuff, then check the link in the description of this episode. Same price, just a few pots of paint, and you get loads of value. You can check out all the stuff on there. Otherwise, massive thank you for listening to this episode, and we will see you next week.
This sounds like heaven for you.
It's
This is-
amazing. Honestly, I'm
so happy. Just
so happy. Yeah.
The grand ship ball.
Yeah. It's Bellum actually.
I'm imagining him in a full captain's uniform.
Little tiny bottles of champagne. Ding!